Hello, welcome to the August edition of 1036 here on Milwaukee PBS. I'm your host, Portia Young. Our local fire and police services are in the spotlight in this episode. We'll tell you about CampHERO, a Girl Scouts program designed to encourage young girls to become firefighters, police officers, or emergency medical technicians. And we'll explain why some of our local fire departments received an award for what they do and how they do it. But first, 3 years ago this month, firefighters and police raced to Milwaukee's Sherman Park neighborhood during a night of unrest sparked by a police shooting of a young black man. 1036 has been following the healing process in that community. We found out some good things start by gathering around the dinner table. 10:30 p.m.
It's a Thursday night on 47th Street in Sherman Park. A resident fires up the grill for the weekly community dinner. For the past 15 years, dozens of residents like Peter Borg and Laura Marshall gathered to remind each other why they've chosen to call this community home.
God, we're grateful for your pursuit of us. We're grateful that you give us everything we need.
As a resident of Sherman Park, you have moments that are very difficult. And if you didn't have your neighbors to remind you why you came and remind you why you're here and remind you of the hope that we have here, I think it would be impossible to stay.
Laura Marshall has lived in Sherman Park for 13 years, and her neighbors teach her what community is all about.
Most days, Sherman Park is just a neighborhood like any neighborhood. But when hard stuff happens, you have to go to your neighbors and be reminded and talk through and process what has happened, what you've seen, how you feel. But then we always come back to the question of what are we going to do?
It's been 3 years since Milwaukee police shot and killed Seville Smith, who ran from officers after being pulled over near Sherman Park. That created nights of fire and fury in the Sherman Park neighborhood, making national news. Residents and community leaders say much of the unrest stemmed from poor police relations, as well as frustration over lack of jobs and economic resources. Alderman Khalif Rainey had only been in office 4 months when the unrest occurred.
For me, it was just a highlight of how real it is to be a leader in a community, in the city. And I don't think that what occurred here in Sherman Park is unique. I think there are issues similar to what we're experiencing in Sherman Park all across the entire city of Milwaukee, but also in the United States of America.
Today, city and neighborhood leaders continue to press towards change.
Sometimes it takes crisis and trial and trouble to get us to drop our own personal agendas and come together. I've seen a greater awareness and willingness and initiative even among our elected officials as a result of the unrest to bring attention and to bring more resources to this community.
Following the unrest, Bishop Harvey and members of Park Lawn Assembly of God made themselves present through prayer and community outreach. The church opened its doors for a Milwaukee PBS and 1036 special.
This program is coming to you from Park Lawn Assembly of God in the heart of Milwaukee's Sherman Park neighborhood.
Beyond Sherman Park, to hear from residents in and around the neighborhood about how to heal.
If there was a way for these leaders of these different grassroots organizations to meet together and to share resources, I think we'd be able to address these questions a lot more efficiently.
You can't go out and try and solve some of these social problems from behind the desk. You've got to be out there, grassroots, talking to people, trying to organize.
Bishop Harvey also offers more than spiritual support, with the help of his friend and business partner, Tom Kepler.
The goal of Upstart Kitchen is to really foster entrepreneurship and helping people build their businesses, creating wealth so they can have livable, sustainable jobs. And hopefully some of these businesses would grow to such a point where they would hire other employees. We really believe that job creation is really one of the key components of alleviating poverty and helping people live flourishing lives.
Upstart Kitchen is a food incubation enterprise that will provide a space for doers and dreamers to come and to actualize their food entrepreneur creativity. We recognize that as a church, and most churches would probably get an A, maybe a B+ in how we address spiritual needs within people's lives. But we would fail when it comes to, okay, how are we addressing their ability to live economically? How are we addressing their social relationship? How are we even addressing their physical health?
One of the most visible investments in the neighborhood has been the Sherman Phoenix. Rising from the literal ashes of the former BMO Harris Bank that burned during the unrest, the Phoenix symbolizes a new day.
The Sherman Phoenix, which is a small business incubator that houses over 20 African-American owned businesses. This is beyond entrepreneurship. This has really become a gathering place for the entire city of Milwaukee. And I think it's been a great addition to our community.
The city has also taken steps to revitalize the neighborhood through renovating homes for potential homeowners.
We have the Milwaukee Employment and Renovation Initiative, where we've taken $1 million that was granted to the city of Milwaukee by the state to improve 100 houses here in Sherman Park. So that strengthens each block and each neighborhood by putting, respectable, strong families within those neighborhoods.
But change doesn't only come from government officials and businesses. At the root of strong neighborhoods are strong residents, like Thelma Berry.
I love people. My goal is to make at least 3 smile a day. If I can just get 3 to smile a day when I go out among the people, because you see so many expressions and people are hurting.
Berry and her late husband moved into their house in 1976 when he handed her the keys as a birthday present. The gift, all those years ago, opened the door to Berry dedicating herself as a block captain and longtime member of the Sherman Park Community Association.
This is my home. This is my children's home. This home has benefited so, and I'm not exaggerating, quite a few people that didn't have a place to stay. And I will open my doors up to them and let them stay here until they can get on their feet. And that is my reward. If I could just help somebody, just help somebody.
Helping somebody and pulling together as a neighborhood seems to be the motto for residents like Thelma Berry and Laura Marshall as they continue to move Sherman Park forward.
I think that's one of the things that makes Sherman Park truly unique.
The Sherman Phoenix Alexandria mentioned in her story welcomed a special guest this month. Democratic presidential candidate Cory Booker visited the Sherman Phoenix on August 11th. Booker picked up a key local endorsement from Carrie Pennebaker, a former congressional candidate and treasurer of the Democratic National Committee's Black Caucus. Booker is a U.S. Senator from New Jersey. This is his second visit to Wisconsin in 4 months. Wisconsin is considered a key battleground state for 2020. A new agreement broke down some turf wars when it comes to firefighting. New shared services between Milwaukee and 6 suburban communities now mean faster response times and smarter use of resources. That's why all 7 communities received the 2019 Intergovernmental Cooperation Award from the Wisconsin Policy Forum.
There's a lot of history to fire and emergency service mutual aid in Milwaukee County. Some not so good a history. Years ago, there were borders that people wouldn't cross.
Well, for many years, the suburban departments had given mutual aid to each other and responded to other calls in their cities. But the city of Milwaukee didn't respond to the suburbs on fire calls, and the suburbs didn't respond to the city. Our paramedic units have been crossing boundaries for many, many years, but it was the fire apparatus that were sort of held up.
When I came 9 years ago, Milwaukee did not work with our suburbs. We were kind of looked on as, the 800-pound gorilla, maybe the bully. Maybe the city was a little better than everybody else.
So time changed. Some new chiefs came along, and we decided we needed to change that. It started with North Shore, Greenfield, Milwaukee, Wauwatosa, West Dallas, St. Francis, and Oak Creek. Those are really the core shared services communities. Over time, though, other municipalities now have expressed interest.
When we sat down and everyone sort of was on the same page about, we need to do something about this because we are making it safer for the citizens, we're making it safer for our responders, which is both groups that we are vested in protecting, and we're providing a better service.
We've taken a very measured approach to it, consciously been safe, well-planned, well-organized, and just really creating relationships, which are the basis of everything. So just having meet and greet with firefighters to realize that there really isn't a ton of difference between the way we operate. It's only the barriers that we choose to put up.
The fact that we went from a situation where relationship was tenuous between communities to the fact that now we literally, day doesn't go by that we're not back and forth in other communities. And sometimes we're the first unit there in another community, it's a big change from what it used to be.
A perfect example of how our cooperation really makes a difference is in the fire they had in the North Shore, that big apartment fire. They started calling additional alarms, and 9 years ago, Milwaukee wouldn't have been there. And we had one engine company that rescued 9 or 12 people.
North Shore Fire to Milwaukee Fire on Firecom 1.
This is Milwaukee, North Shore, go ahead.
Milwaukee, we're requesting 2 battalion chiefs and an engine to respond for a structure fire, 9009 North White Oaks Lane.
That's what you received, North Shore, 9009 North White Oak Lane for 2 battalion chiefs and an engine.
Affirmative, thank you.
I can think that Chief Whitaker even mentioned that if we wouldn't had the shared service, there's a good likelihood that we would have had deaths at that fire. It is mutually beneficial. When we had the church fire over here, we ran out of trucks. And our suburban partners not only sent trucks to the fire, they sent trucks to backfill in our stations.
I don't believe that the citizens care who shows up. When you're having an emergency, I've never been asked, what department are you from? When somebody's having an emergency, they want somebody to show up that's professional and nice and helps them through their emergency.
In the beginning, it was a little difficult and a little different for everybody to see a Wauwatosa fire truck at one of our fire scenes. Today, it's a common occurrence. Those individuals go to work, people build relationships, and it becomes a non-issue. We try to make the municipal boundaries disappear. It's been a long journey, but right now we are there, we are doing it, and it works well every day.
You can check out other public policy winners at MilwaukeePBS.org. Firefighting has a lot to do with our next story. If you have a young girl in your family or know of one, you may want to tell her about CampHERO. It's a Girl Scouts program that encourages girls to take on careers as firefighters, police officers, or emergency medical technicians. 1036 spent some time at one of the camps and met some heroes and future heroes.
What we're going to do is we're going to actually let you put out real fire today. Open up. Remember, circle, 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 circle. Close it. Close it. A little bit of kickback to it, huh? All right.
You're never too small to be a police officer, okay? And we're going to show you today some things that you're going to use every day.
You're going to block that face because you don't want to get struck. And then you're going to go down, back, and you're going to get back.
CampHERO is a Girl Scouts camp where we focus on exposing girls to protective services careers. So that's EMT, fire, and police. And they're able to experience hands-on activities with people who are doing that in the field every day.
So if you go from here, like that, because otherwise you're gonna like double print over your print.
When the girls are here for CampHERO, they're really encompassing a lot of different training aspects. In the criminal justice field, they'll be doing everything from getting handcuffing and self-defense training.
Block the face, girl, block that face. Advance! Down! We want to make sure that we're aware of our situation, because when we look at people, especially suspects that want to make you their prey, They look at people who are not looking at them. They don't want to be identified.
To vehicle traffic stops,
Is there a reason you are speeding? I got somewhere to be. Do you have a driver's license or any identification? Yep.
to professional communication, to learning how to speak to people,
What's your most important weapon? Your mouth. Right, exactly.
as well as crime scene investigation and police tactics.
This is called lifting it, because what am I doing? When I pull the tape off, that fingerprint comes with me. See that? What we do is we take it and we put it right here on the lift card, and then that's what we're going to show, and they're going to make their identification off of.
In the fire science program, they learn about ladders, rappelling, do vehicle extrication.
We want to do the front, we want to do the front of the car also, okay? Good. Nice job. So we got that door opened up.
In the EMS, they do CPR, a lot of assessment and treatment and care for injured people.
After you check the pulse, do they have a pulse present? Yep, they do. Okay, so this patient has a pulse and they're breathing, so they're alive, but they're not responding to us. Let's find out why.
This is a nice opportunity for Milwaukee Area Technical College to showcase our facilities and our instructors and our programs to high school students. So we work with the Milwaukee Police Department and the Milwaukee Fire Department and the Girl Scouts to put the program on.
And I see that you're not wearing a seatbelt. Is there any reason why you're not wearing a seatbelt?
I just don't like to wear it.
I want to save people, and I want to be hands-on, and I want to learn how to do that type of stuff. So that's why I came to camp, and I heard that there will be a lot of people supporting us and doing that.
We're not going to do it right now, but what you would do is you would ask them their information, you would write it down.
Okay.
When I was little, I really wanted to be a cop. None of my family, no one was a cop. And I wanted to show my family, like, the girls can do anything. So CampHERO gave me that opportunity.
There you go.
A little bit harder. There you go. Okay, so now this happened. Now, if you had a patient in there, let's say you have a patient in the passenger seat, you would want to have a blanket over them, okay, to cover them up, to keep all the splash shards off.
At first, they're a little intimidated because we start talking about self-defense,
Okay, girls, advance.
vehicle contacts and foot pursuits, and vehicle extrication and putting out fires. And sometimes, even though they like to watch those things on TV, to actually do it themselves might be a little intimidating.
We got a van fire and auto fire going on right now. Stand up, grab some hose, and then pull some back and get those little kinks out of there. On the count of 3, we're going to go ahead and open the bail. That's pulling it backwards, okay? Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Open up. Circle, 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 circle.
But the instructors do a great job at teaching and easing them into the experience so that at the end of CampHERO, they have a lot of confidence because they've accomplished and done things that they probably thought they would never be able to do.
It's just a lot of work with self-protection and how to be physically fit and stuff. And I'm not physically fit, but when we had to do the training and stuff, I pushed myself a lot harder than I thought I would.
Kind of lead up with this one right here. All right, nice job.
I'm proud that some of the stuff, the heavy equipment that I could wear and put out the fires. So that was really surprising to see that I could do some of the stuff.
We're good? All right, now it starts. Now we're gonna walk as a team. We're gonna advance that line. We're gonna kind of start curving around. We're gonna square away. We're doing this really big, wide left turn. We're gonna each get a crack at putting out that fire, okay? 1, 2, 3. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
For me, it was most fun to meet new people and live with them for a week and know more about them and why they want to be in here.
Is your partner ready? So you gotta wait for your partner? Okay, she's ready.
The other neat thing about CampHERO is a lot of the instructors that come in are female instructors.
It's important to verbalize your intentions on what you want this person to do. All right, girls. I know you got it in you, all right? Advance!
This morning we were teaching vehicle contacts and we had 4 female officers from the Milwaukee Police Department as their instructors, so they serve as great role models for the young girls.
Every week I get a little bit more confident going to certain calls, and there's good people everywhere that are willing to help you guys and direct you in
tell you what to do.
It's important for girls to have the opportunity of CampHERO because women are still underrepresented in law enforcement. It's important for young women to see that there's opportunities for them in criminal justice, in fire, and in EMT.
When we look at who's the chief and who's the lieutenant, you don't always think, oh yeah, a woman has that role. So when you actually see that, you're like, wow, this is possible. This could be a reality for me if I work hard and I push myself.
You never quit. You never quit. Remember that.
This is a leadership development program that helps empower girls so they can be strong women leaders in our communities. And we really need that today.
He might not have gone to CampHERO, but Juan Ramon certainly acquired his skills as a fire department mechanic from MATC. Ramon says that the program and his job turned his life around.
Openings for this job are far in between. I entered the automotive program in MATC South Campus. My instructor, he mentioned it to me and I thought it was a good idea. It was something different, so I did it. At the time, I was expecting my daughter. I wanted her to have a good life. The program full-time was about a year. Part-time was 2 years, but I did the 1 year, so I wanted to get it done as soon as I can. When I finished, I talked to my instructor, Joe Spitz. Shortly after I graduated, a couple days, I was working, and it's been good ever since.
The Fire Support Division has a number of different roles, but our primary goal is we design it, we build it, we maintain it, we fix it, and we also buy it.
The students that come out of MATC have got a great mechanical foundation, a solid mechanical foundation that allows them to build off of, allows us to build off of.
If you have a good foundation, which MATC provides in the automotive program, you can come here and you can, that helps quite a bit. This is kind of a specialized field. With the foundation you got, everything else you will learn here. Very few places offer any training for fire trucks.
The fire apparatus is so unique and so specialized that there's very few mechanics that have any of that kind of experience when we hire them. Majority of the mechanics that we hire, we need to have somebody that knows mechanics, has a great foundation, and from there we can teach them what they need to know about the fire apparatus.
We buy SUVs from dealers. We have to outfit them with lights, sirens, computers, and everything else that you would need, radios, so they can operate properly. All the vehicles, trucks, and the response vehicles have all those systems. We got to put them in there.
The Milwaukee Fire Department has 30 active stations where we respond to emergencies of all kinds. And we also have 5 support stations ranging from our peer support, our Fire Belt Club, our community relations building, and our recruitment station.
Brakes are one thing that we do a lot. It's just based on the use of the vehicle. They're running and stopping so many times. The brakes, they're bigger, heavy. So sometimes we'll need help to mount certain things. Exhaust, suspension, I mean, whatever needs attention. We do inspections to make sure that everything is where it needs to be and tight, nothing's loose. And with the salt, corrosion, so there's a lot of things that go into getting these things ready to work for the firemen. The building is from the late 20s. It was made to build 1920s, 30s trucks, fire trucks. What we have now, it's 4 times the size. It's a challenge sometimes to get things done, but we do get them done. But it's a beautiful building, yeah. You can see all the construction, the crane up top. It's a very nice building.
A lot of shops, mechanics have their own stall or stalls, and they work on their own vehicles, and they interact as needed, but mostly they work alone. Here we work a lot more like a team. So not only are we looking for somebody that has the mechanical knowledge, but also has the right type of personality to fit in with us. We're looking for someone that has a sense of wanting to be part of the community and be part of something a little bit bigger than just fixing trucks.
It's a very important job. We work hand in hand with the firemen. They talk to us, we talk to them, make sure that we're on the same page. But definitely, yeah, it's important. You know, we got to keep these things on the street, and they got to do their job.
That'll do it for this edition of 1036. Remember, check us out at MilwaukeePBS.org and on Facebook. Summer is quickly winding down, but there's nothing like a field of sunflowers to keep us thinking warm thoughts. See you next time.